Hey Dad, so I just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day. And like when I think back and think about all the memories I've had, remember like for instance, a lot of things that you did with me when I was a little kid, when I was a baby and stuff. Now I'm doing too. Like for instance, when I grew up, you started taking me to the gym, and I was playing basketball and you were taking it easy, and then I got a little bit better, and then you take it easy, and then all of a sudden I never got to the level that you were because I was not listening. But I did get a chance to like play against you, and I got a little bit better at defense and shot blocking, and you got a 3-point shot and stuff like that. And also in the video games, we used to play video games all the time, and you would somehow beat me not following any of the rules of the game. I still don't understand how that happens. But and then also like even now, fantasy football, fantasy sports. Even though right now there are no sports going on, we used to. You actually are the reason why I got into fantasy sports because I used to see you playing all these tournaments, sometimes winning them, getting real close, and I'm like, I think I want to do that now, and so I got into it, and I really enjoy it and stuff like that. So those are the small things that I noticed, but also when I think about you, I think about the work ethic and how even now, like you are working on the garden that you've been working on for like 3 years, I think, more probably more than that, and it's just a lot of people don't do that nowadays. So it's just when I think about you, I think about how hard you work and all the things that you taught me and the things that I've grown to love just through you. So I just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day, and yeah.
Hi, Dad. We just wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day. Of course, with COVID, we can't come by and see you like we normally would. But we were talking about what we most admired or reflection. And for me, I've always appreciated your work ethic where I remember you would work 84 hours in a week and I would still see you and not notice that you were working 84 hours in that week, and how you really made sure that you were there for the family and took care of us, and I really appreciate that.
And for me, I really, really admire your laid back spirit. You just have a very strong, quiet spirit that everybody just it kind of is comforting to everybody. And it really reminds me of my granddad. I lost him a long time ago, but he had the exact same demeanor, and my spiritual father at our church has the same laid back personality and everything. So I really admire that about you. And just basically when we come around, you're always just smiling, and you enjoy the time with the family. And I really appreciate that you and Mom consider me like your daughter. So just wanted to say that we love you very much.
And for me, it's definitely your dedication whenever you put your mind to things. Like for instance, cleaning the um, outside, cleaning the apartment area where you start sweeping everything and walking outside, and sometimes walking around with Uncle CJ weighted vest when I'm not sure if you're still doing that, but I remember you walked around with the weighted vest sometimes and stuff. And I've always admired how you just continue to work on something no matter. Oh, it's raining, I'm still gonna go walk. It's just you just stay dedicated. If you put your mind to something, you're gonna do it.
So happy
Happy
Father's
Father's
Day.
Day.
So I was thinking about my dad, who I lost on January the 2nd of 2019. And we just wanted to reflect on some things to remember him for this Father's Day. Dad was very witty and talented. He was a jack of all trades. Honestly, he was a builder. He did the electrical stuff, the plumbing stuff, the mechanic stuff. He did all kinds of things. God just blessed him to be able to do so many different things. And he'll tell you the Lord taught him how to do it, because he never got a chance to really go to school. He had to get a GED, and he didn't really do anything beyond that for school. But God blessed him to still learn how to do so many different things. And he's a singer. He was a songwriter. He was a poet. He was a Bible teacher and elder of the church. And he was an artist. I remember him making a house out of, it was a house for one of my French projects for a class, and he made it out of styrofoam. And once he covered it with all whatever it is, some type of stucco, something that he put on there, you would never know it was made from styrofoam. It had all these details to it and everything. And so he was very, very talented in that way. And the other thing I wanted to reflect on, I took note of these things after he had passed. I wanted to remember the witty things that he would say. And just to share a few of them, I'm trying to get through this. Okay. He always said stuff like, it's easy when you know how, which of course is true. And then, sometimes I would call him on the phone, and I'll say, "What you doing, Daddy?" And he'll say, "Oh, I'm feeding my children's, Daddy." And if we were somewhere that, like at a relative's house or some fun place we had gone to as a family or whatever, he would say, "Well, if we don't leave, we can't come back." And usually when I either would visit him or talk to him on the phone, he would usually end a lot of those times with saying, "Now you take care of my youth." And he was always asking about how my kids were doing at school. He always wanted to know what they were learning. And, he was always cheering them on whenever I would talk to him. He always was cheering me on as a teacher and cheering on my kids' ability to do what needed to be done as well. So he's always been a cheerleader for me, as far as always want me to do my best and cheer me on with any accomplishments that I made. But he also cheered me on as a teacher, and cheered on my kids with their ability to do well in school. He really, really liked to know when kids were doing good in school, since he didn't have the opportunity to go to college and all of these other things that was going on. So he always made sure to teach kids, if they were around him long enough, they were going to learn how to spell encyclopedia and geography. And I mean, at very, very young ages, 2 or 3, he would teach them in this way. In encyclopedia, it would be like ENCYCLOPEDIA. And he taught me that when I was like 2 or 3. And then for geography, he would say it like GEOGRAPHY. And so that was just something that he really took pride in, that he didn't teach us like little words first, like cat and dog. He wanted us to feel really smart by giving us these big words to learn how to spell, and he did it kind of with a singing kind of a pattern or whatever. But anyway, we just wanted to take this time to remember Dad for this Father's Day. particularly because we had to be more creative with COVID going on. We just kind of wanted to make videos for this year. We got the idea from our church that did one for Mother's Day, and we wanted to reflect on our fathers in this way as well.
And for me, when I think about our dad, I think about once again his work ethic, because it was funny. He was in his 70s and 80s, and I was in my 30s and 40s, and we're probably 20s and 30s. And we would be in the yard working, and he would outwork me because we would be out there for a few hours and I'm exhausted. And for him, no big deal. And a lot of times he'll play little jokes where he was used to working by himself, so he knew little shortcuts like getting a pole out of the ground by yourself, where he would use a chain or another pole, and he would ask me if I could get it out, and he knew I didn't know any of that, so I'm over there straining and struggling and can't move it, and then he'll laugh, and then he'll go get his gadget that he put together and easily get it up out of the ground. But for me, I've always admired, whenever you find someone older that can still go out and work that hard, you know that when they were younger, they really were putting in some time. So I've always admired that about them.
And the thing for me that mattered a lot to me was how anytime I made any academic accomplishment or any accomplishment in general, he was like overjoyed and just really excited and happy that I did any of it. And it wasn't just for me, but I did notice that he cares a lot about education. And so anytime there was any, like, made an A, if you told him you made an A, he was really happy and stuff like that. So that really meant a lot to me because it was his way of showing that the most important thing to him was education first.